story about Minnie the Moocher. She was a low-down hoochie coocher. She was the roughest, toughest frail. Minnie had a heart as big as a whale. Heidi, 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 ho. Heidi, 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 ho. Eddie, 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 Eddie. Eddie, 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 Eddie. Whoa. Heidi, 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 ho. Heidi, 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 ho.
Yeah, a little Cab Calloway to just get you guys nice into the weekend. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Freedom Honey podcast as we continue our descent into cult like status. For everybody who is new to the show, thank you again for finding us, I guess. Thanks for coming and spending this time with us as we talk about the good, the bad, and the bullshit, and basically the random stuff I found on Twitter this week. And man, there's been a lot of crazy shit going on. And to everybody who's returning, thanks again for sharing the show, liking the show, and promoting kind of what we're doing here down in the swamp in Beaver County. All right, guys. And with that, I drink through these. So we're going to pop open a fresh PBR. And we're going to get into the hot topics of this week. Well, it's a doozy this week. Some MPs helping foreign actors like China and India meddle in the Canadian politics. Report. A shocking new report by one of Canada's intelligence watchdogs suggests that some parliaments are willingly helping foreign governments like China and India meddle in Canadian politics. The National Security and Intelligence Committee of Parliament, NSI COP or whatever they're called, which is made up of MPs and senators from across the political spectrum, have asked last year to investigate allegations of foreign interference in Canadian elections. And man, so the report came out and it's pretty damning. Sadly, a lot of it is redacted and they're not naming the names. Now, I've seen speculations all over the internet. They're talking about half a dozen to a dozen. I saw one number up to 70 MPs are compromised. But I mean, it doesn't matter. Even if it's one, I'm like, these people got to be out. And this is a thing that infuriates me. They're hiding it. And they'll give you every reason out of the book. They'll say that, it's for national security and doing it. I saw one committee, they're like, us hiding the name just because it may put the whistleblowers in danger. I'm like, no, you're saving your own ass because most of you people are guilty. All right. LeBlanc says that it would be irresponsible to release names of MPs who aided foreign meddling. The public safety minister said the RCMP decides whether charges should be laid against the MPs. Well, I hope they are, because I looked up the definition of treason, and you get in there with this. I mean, that's not a term you really want to throw around, but when these people are deliberately undermining our system and leaking secrets, it's treasonous behavior. I mean, we used to, hang people for this kind of stuff. Sometimes I wish we still did. But these names are contained in the intelligence report. In some cases, it's uncorroborated and unverified intelligence information, he said. The idea that there is a perfect list of names that is entirely reliable that should be released to the public is simply irresponsible. No, I guarantee you he's on the list. I mean, you don't go through all of this bullshit to cover up, or it goes all the way up. I mean, the fish rots from the head down. We're talking about it could be Trudeau. I'm thinking it's Freeland. I'm thinking it's Guilbeault. I'm thinking it's most of cabinet members. The National Security Intelligence Agency of Parliamentarians released a report on Monday identifying China, India as attempting to recruit MPs, and in some cases were successful. The report said that some MPs were passing confidential information to India. In other cases, a former MP had an ongoing relationship with foreign intelligence officials. Conservative MP Frank Caputo said it was irresponsible for LeBlanc to allow the cloud to hang over all MPs. The NCIOP report that it was recently revealed that parliamentarians include members of our House and the House of Commons knowingly and deliberately assisted in hostile foreign states to the determined of the people of Canada, he said. Absolutely. I mean, you guys, this is huge. This is literally, we have traitors at the highest level of governments. God knows what they released. I mean, there could be the biolab stuff. It could be everything. It could be climate change. Why do we love China all of a sudden? Sharing secrets and everything like that. Just crazy. And it's not even so much the fact that it's damning. I mean, we always knew that these people were greasy. We always knew that, when they were talking about the elections interference, like having the bus loads of Chinese students randomly show up in someone's district to vote for them. We're like, we knew there was definitely some involvement with other countries. But this is insane. I mean, these people need to be called out. I personally think that what they're going to do is they're going to call an election. This is such bad that they're going to call an election, go right to an election without releasing the names, which I think is even worse than anything, because then you do not know if the person that you're voting for is treacherous. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. And with that, we're right to everyone's favorite segment, the douche of the week, because it involves this. Nominee this week is Jennifer O'Connell, Liberal MP. During the Foreign Inquiry Committee today, it was the actual this was the actual response to Conservative demands that they release the names of the traitorous MPs who cooperated with hostile foreign government. Boo-hoo, get over it. We do have the video for that. Took a little while to find on the internet, but see for yourself.
Thank you, Chair. During Mr. Caputo's round at the end, Ms. O'Connell was literally shouting at him across the floor, and now she's saying, "Boo-hoo, get over it." Respectfully, Chair, I think you should call this member to order. It is a point of order. You're shouting.
Mr. Dennis.
Shouting at another member. No, sorry, I've got a point of order.
Speak to the chair, please.
Great.
I hear your point of order.
Thank
I would
you.
encourage all members to not talk across the table, to talk through the chair when they're recognized. It would be helpful to us all.
I hope you'll call Ms. O'Connell to order, because she wasn't cross-talking. She was shouting in order to disrupt Mr. Caputo's round of questions.
Oh yeah, that backfired on her spectacularly, to the point where the Toronto Sun put it on the front page. Just crazy. I mean, they're not taking this seriously, which tells me they're probably all complacent. So honestly, sweetheart, first of all, like, just the way you in your interviews and the way you speak like a valley girl from just retarded. Yeah, I'm glad you're going to lose your seat because everyone hates you right now. So that'll be fantastic. Honestly, Jennifer O'Connell, for being just a disgrace to this country and everything like that, you are this week's Freedom Honey douche of the week. That's Mike approved, Pedro approved, Freedom Honey approved, Beaver County approved, and we'll go from there. All right, other big news. Diagolon strikes again. Yes, more Diagolon news. As of right now, Jeremy McKenzie, undefeated champ. Congratulations to him and Morgan this week for defeating their last bout of charges. That's, I mean, this has been years and years going on for this, and they finally got their victory this week. So tip of the hat. Not a single charge against Jeremy McKenzie across 3 provinces, resulting in a finding of guilt. Yeah, I mean, this poor guy's been thrown through the coals and spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in legal fees and lawyers. And I know his community and his fan club like really stepped up to help with everything. So good on them. And enjoy this moment. Victory is yours. You defeated the system and they threw everything at you. So Diagolon strikes again. Okay, what else? NDP's newest bout of intelligence, let's just say. Our plan is to force corporate grocery chains to lower the price of essential foods. If they refuse, face a price cap. The vote is today. This is a terrible idea. Every time you have government controlling things, like, I don't know, the price of food, it goes to shit. Look at the dairy cartels. Look at that bullshit. No, terrible idea. This is just one step closer to communism. I still think that this is all part of the giant plan that they want to push for government-controlled grocery stores. And I, this is my little theory about it, is that they're gonna bring in these government-run grocery stores. They're gonna lower the cost of all the food because they're gonna subsidize it heavily. People are then gonna flock to these stores to buy everything, taking out all the other ones. And then once the other ones have been wiped out, all the Ma and Pa's and all the Walmarts and the Costco's and everyone else, then they're going to jack the price of food right back up again, and you're going to be screwed. That's when they'll go after the farmers and like the Hutterite colonies and stuff like that. So wait for it. This is, like I said, that's my theory when it comes to that, but I think it's all part of the master plan. I still think the Great Reset is upon us. Okay, other news. This is from the Hill. Cicadas being infected with STD that turns them into hypersexual zombies. Well, another one of those. I didn't have it on the old 2024 bingo card. Hypersexual zombies? All right, let's see what it says. Birds that eat infected cicadas may also experience hallucinatory effects. The white fungus takes over male cicadas and causes the gonads to be torn from the body. I mean, damn. The chalky spores that are released by the fungus are spread into the nearby cicadas, infecting more and more. The fungus also takes over the way the cicadas behave. Even though the reproductive parts have been replaced by a fungus, they are driven to mate with many other cicadas as possible. Infected males also flick their wings to attract an attractive way to lure more victims. Talk about a crazy way to go. I mean, it is deadly to them, so eventually it will kill them. But damn. Yeah, like I said earlier, this is definitely something I didn't see on the old 2024 bingo card. We had zombie raccoons. We had the weird sharks. And now we had the cocaine sharks. I remember that. Now we have hypersexual zombie cicadas. The world is going to hell in a handbag. So just be careful, friends. Okay. Little local news. Calgary will run out of water in days to come if current usage doesn't drop, city says. Okay, so we're going to go after kind of what's happening, and I want to go over the conspiracy about this because some of the stuff that the mayor is saying isn't making sense. Okay, so if you guys are tracking, and there was a massive water main break that hit, I think it was like one of the northern parts of the city. So right now they're telling everyone to ration their water. Don't bathe, don't shower, defer your dishes, all that stuff. But the weird part is that industry hasn't been affected. I'm talking to people. I mean, like restaurants are still operating. Car washes are still open, but yet you can't take a shower. I know earlier this year there were talks about that they may have to ration water because of the big drought that was coming. And where part of me thinks that you didn't get your drought because we had record rainfall, that maybe your whole plan to ration water, you needed something. So this water main breaking all of a sudden was your way of doing it. I know failed Mayor Gondek, by the way, still pissed the recall didn't go through, but hey, it was a shot in the dark. Good for those guys for still trying to do it, but it is what it is. The crews in Bonus have managed to remove enough water to reach the pipe and started assessing the damage. On that, this was the area that the water main break occurred. They had one pump sucking it out, which is bullshit. I mean, this is taking forever. You had one pump, and it was just some shitty gas little pump. I mean, what happened to all the pumps we had for the floods? Like we had like Pioneer pumps, like industrial massive pumps, and yet they had one to suck out the water. I don't know. Something's afoot here. We're using more water than we can produce. Let's keep limiting our water usage to our home. I'm curious to see how long this goes. I don't. Also, what's weird is I'm pretty sure from talking to people, the south part of the city doesn't feed off that main. It feeds off of the reservoir at the south. So that doesn't make sense either. But hey, people in Calgary, like, start asking questions, because I mean, it's pretty sad that I've gotten to the point in my life where every politician says something and I don't believe them. Especially the more woke, the worst. I mean, it's kind of good that you question everything, but at the same time, I mean, I have lost complete faith in the system. Call me black pill, call me whatever you want. It's pretty damning. But to everybody out there, even some of the posts I've seen, like, guys are like, fuck you, I'm gonna take a shower, or screw you, I'm doing my dishes, or I'm gonna go sit in my driveway and wash my car because I'm gonna be that guy. But we'll see what happens. We're keeping a close eye on this because it's gonna get interesting. All right, the bird flu is upon us. WHO confirms first fatal human case of the bird flu. Guys, it's happening. This actually, I think, was called out in 2020. Scientists say an apocalyptic bird flu could wipe out half of humanity. This is the same scientists that need to shut the fuck up. Because that's all we've been apparently listening for the last 5 years is trust the science, trust the science, trust the science. Well, it turned out the science was wrong. But a little alarming. First fatal case of human bird flu, subtype H5N2, confirmed in Mexico. This is going to get interesting. Like I said, this is going to be it, people. This is get ready for this. This is going to be it. Like I said, I am not taking no bird flu vaccine. I am going to fight this tooth and nail. Possible, what I'm thinking, if you're going to ask my opinion of this, is with all this bird flu going to bovine, I think that's the way for them to start culling the herds. And then you will eat the bugs. So keep an eye on this. The pandemic treaty stuff, too, that's going on. Keep an eye on that, too. All right. City Edmonton decided to double down because they're bastards. I mean, this is a failed city by a failed mayor in a broke-ass freaking town. As of July 1st, the new paper bag rule. So Calgary did the smart thing. They completely dropped it because of public outrage. Here, we're doubling down. So instead of being 15 cents for a paper bag, it will now be 25 cents. And a reusable bag, instead of being $1, will cost you a toonie. The fee goes to businesses to help recoup costs, and the savings go to the environment. The ratio on this was next level. I mean, it was just people calling them out for screw you for keep trying to gouge people. And I'm really tired of having to ask for a bag when I go through like the McDonald's drive-thru in the morning, and I just want my goddamn egg McMuffin with my hash brown, and I don't want you to hand it to me in a goddamn Rubbermaid container that's disgusting, or on a tray. I'm like, what do you want me to do with this thing? I'm going to sit there and hold the tray eat while I drive? Or do I take the tray? Yes, take the tray. We covered it on previous shows. You take the tray. Garbage. Anyway. Because this is saving the planet. You've got freaking Kim Kardashian that can fly from freaking LA to Paris for a piece of cheesecake, but my paper straw is what's going to save the environment. You're all assholes and jackasses. Speaking of jackasses, Janice Irwin... Fuck, I hate this. I can't even call her the C word because I don't know, I might offend some people, but or the Buddy Holly impersonator. I'm like, part of me for the longest time didn't even think she was gay. I think it's just an axe because I'm like, you can't think your way out of a paper bag to get back onto the paper bag story. So you needed some angle to get people to like you. So you said, hey, I'll just be the gayest one out there. Anyway, she shared this crazy post. Come out this Saturday, see our trans and queer members will be speaking out about how they can be no queer liberation without Palestinian liberation from the river to the sea. There's no pride in genocide, pinkwashing, policing, and the colonial state violence pride. 2S LGBTQIA+ rally in March. Next level. Let's get this straight. According to them, there's no queer liberation without Palestine liberation. Go to Palestine, try to have a pride parade, and see what happens. then you'll have your genocide. Very tolerant people, let's just say. And I'm still angry with the fact that they're bringing 5,000 here. Plus, they're going to open the door of floodgates. It's going to be terrible. But this is next level crazy. But then again, it is 2024, so it's just right up there. Because of course, this week was the start of Pride season. Because you can't just have a day, you can't just have a week or a month. It has to be a full season, and then all the other days that are blanketed in across the year, Transgender Awareness Day or some day of memory for queers, or I don't know, something about Indigenous. I don't know. At this point, we should start ticking off the calendars for the days that are not gay. There's not going to be very many. I think at this point the alphabet people own the calendar. We may have to create a new calendar. We had like the Gregorian and the Julian. We're gonna have to have a new full calendar come in. We may have to lose a month just to get rid of Pride because it's just too much. The nice thing is people are fighting back and just disgusted by all of this. So, I mean, that's good. Okay, we're gonna talk about more Palestinian woke garbage. Okay, visiting agitated comrades at UBC's pro-Palestinian encampment. The People's University for Gaza is a terrible name. Anyway, has an air of slight embarrassment about it, like the subdued defiance of a child. Basically making fun of what's happening at UBC because commies are going to commie, and apparently they wanted to make their point. Watch the video.
Comrades of the Revolutionary Communist Party are out at the encampment UBC today. We're here, we're fighting for Palestine, we're fighting for Gaza. The administration has refused to listen to us, so we're making a stand. If they're not going to negotiate with us, we won't negotiate with them. So we're going to stand up against this. We're going to stand up against the university. We're going to stand up against the cops. We're going to be here as long as it takes to get our demands met and to free Palestine.
Yes, to get our demands met and to free Palestine. And they're not kidding around anymore. Ooh, neckbeards and weirdos. That kid definitely got bullied in high school. I mean, I think they got out of bullying. I don't even know if that's a thing anymore, but I think we need to bring it back to stop these kids from turning into commies. Sitting there with his stupid mask on and his calife, and we're not kidding around anymore, and it's gonna come to this. I mean, these clowns. So ridiculous. All right. What else? Caregivers from abroad can now be given permanent residence on arrival under new pilot program. Caregivers coming to Canada to look after children, seniors, and disabled people will be offered permanent residency on arrival under new pilot programs to be announced Monday by Immigration Minister Mark Miller. And you thought the floodgates were open now. I mean, how many East Indian caregivers are all of a sudden going to show up? You know, I can see it now. You're going to watch Toronto. You're going to have a bunch of East Indian caregiver. The fake universities are one thing, but now you'll have Panj Meets freaking home care. You'll have Palminder's aiding disabled people company. And then they're just going to flood them all in, work for a few months doing it, got their permanent residency, and who knows, join the army. Because that's what we're coming to, people. So, again, Mark Miller doing another thing for keep the floodgates open. I mean, you guys really are no, I don't want to turn into India. I do not want to turn into any of those countries, to be honest, any of them Southern Asian countries. I want to stay where we are. We can't keep taking them all in. The liberals have this ridiculous plan of building 4 million houses in 2 years, and it's not going to happen. It just can't. So, I mean, they're going to win because most of them have multiple properties, so their houses are going to keep going up in value. Hell, mine's going to keep going up in value, but not I don't want it like this. This is bad. And of course, they're just going to build their own districts of like their own leaders, and then soon they're going to give them the right to vote. That's going to be next. I know they were talking about dropping the voting age to 16, but then their next thing you see is permanent residents are going to be able to vote. And then we're in for a crazy shit show from there. All right. Mexico elects first female president by the name of Claudia. Oh, God, this name was hard. Sheinbaum. It was a Jewish last name. It's kind of weird that Mexico's population is like 0.0001% Jewish, and you managed to elect a female Jewish president. Was elected the country's first female president after a bloody election campaign that saw 37 candidates assassinated. Yes, you heard me right. 37 candidates. I was kind of looking into this, and at first I was like, man, that's crazy. That's unheard of. But there were like 20,000 candidates apparently. So, I mean, for Mexico, I think that's pretty good. But still troubling. Nevertheless, also like they went with this, but I still believe now in 2024. I mean, people aren't getting elected anymore; they're just getting placed. I have a feeling that she's going to be very World Economic Forum friendly. Let's just say WHO friendly. We need more like Javier Milei, like down in Argentina. Like I kind of like that guy, crazy hair and stuff he's saying, good stuff. But all right. Okay, opinion. Ottawa could raise the GST to help fund its defense commitments. This is a terrible idea. They don't need so much to raise the GST that they need to quit spending money like it's going out of style and not on stupid shit. They like stop the foreign aid. Stop just helping migrants out. Shut the border down. But no, we need to spend money on that. But if we want a better defense, well, we can't be fiscally responsible with the money we have. We're just going to gouge it out of you. Maybe they think it's an easy sell. Because I always say, if you wanted to, if we were a very proud country and you wanted to help people, then, you could press the idea of, like, yeah, we're going to spend a lot of money in the military. I'm like, people would generally be okay with that. So maybe their plan is to raise GST anyway. And just if they say it's for defense commitments, it'll be an easier pill to swallow. Maybe, you just quit spending money like a bunch of drunken sailors and we'll be fine. Man, we'll leave it at that. All right. We're going to get to the dirty laundry of Beaver County. A new popular segment. I'm getting good reviews on this one. Couple of thumbs up, so we'll talk about this. All right, so county map of Alberta, Beaver County. If you look at the center, you look a little bit to the right. Beaver County is right there, north of Flagstaff and east of Canmore counties, which those counties suck. Beaver's where it's at. Wonderful place to live, but not perfect. So I brought it up last week's show, and I did a couple of little things about it this week. So the mass killing of my buddy / bee guru Stefan Zapieri cost him not $80K, cost him close to about $100K in equipment. Stolen equipment, damages. There's a bunch of junkies. They went in there. They were trying to steal copper. They stole old fuel for some reason. They cut through his gate. They broke into his woodworking shed. He didn't have many tools in there, but they tried to steal some stuff. They stole a battery out of one of the old trucks. Like, they didn't end up with a whole lot. But what they ended up doing is his processing room, when you go in there, he's got a garage door and he's got a blacked out room, and that's for wintering his bees. A couple of bee facts for you guys. Normally wintertime, the bees would cluster together and hibernate. I call it hibernate, but basically they cluster together. They just vibrate over winter to stay warm. It's what they do to deal with the weather changes and stuff like that. Survivability for bees in wintertime, if they're outside, is not necessarily that good. You can generally expect, like a 30%, sometimes 40% losses. Storing them inside gives you way better survivability, close to probably 80%. Issue with storing them inside is it's got to be a completely blacked out room. Like you cannot see have any light in there. 2, it's not keeping them warm, it's keeping them cool. Hives will generate heat. They will from the bees inside. So he spent a ton of cash, get this crazy ventilation system with these very efficient motors and fans, and set it up to a backup generator. Thank God they didn't steal that. 2 thermostats that he got from Europe. They had a redundancy in them so that if one goes down, the other one will still operate. The fan would turn on. Really, really good. Anyway, when they broke into the compound, they broke in through that door. And in there, they tried to steal a pallet jack for some reason. I mean, these are junkies. Junkies are going to junk. So trying to get the pallet jack out, they ended up knocking over a bunch of bees. So they got stung relentlessly thousands and thousands of times, which is a little bit of justification and, a little bit of vengeance, if you will. But yeah, then they fled because they were going to get attacked. Left the door open. Well, one of the neighbors drove by the next few days and saw that the gate had been cut open. And that's when he went around, saw it, and ended up shutting that door. But because it was in March and the weather and the snow, well, moisture got in there, shut the door. And basically they had stole actually one of the thermostats, and the other one didn't stop working as well. So they ended up all dying from moisture and everything like that. So it's pretty sad. And that amount of loss, I mean, that was 80, close to $90,000. For maybe a couple of grand worth of tools, equipment, a battery. He had to bring a welder in to fix the gate. I mean, he had a pretty impressive large gate that they had to go through with sawzalls and grinders to cut through. Now, we put a magnesium rod through it. So if you try it next time, that'll be interesting. Plus, I mean, he had good defenses. He had walls kind of set up so that if you tried to get through off-road, you get stuck. The one part that you may be able to get a truck in, he built a bunch of impromptu hedgehogs like in World War II, like anti-tank defenses. I'm like kind of miniature versions. I'm like to see what happens if you get one of that in your oil pan. He had some cameras, and we found the guys. And they are Beaver County. There are a couple of junkies out of Riley. Like I said, our county's not perfect. We got a couple of commies. We got some good people, but we also got some bad people. Good news is we're a county that takes care of ourselves, so we're just gonna leave it at that. But if you want to support Stefan, sadly he's selling his business. He's gonna keep the processing thing keep going. But for the apiary itself, he's going to sell it off. So if you guys check it out, local stores at the airport too, you can get Beaver Creek honey, primo stuff. And I get my bees from him, so technically they're Freedom Honey bees. Also in the in the freedom, freedom movement, in the more news out of Beaver County, Uncle Rogers has karaoke tomorrow night in Tofield. 9:00 for your I like small town shitty bar karaoke for some reason. It's just a fun way to go drink Coors Light and watch people make jackasses of themselves. So, and with that, we're gonna finish off this week's Dirty Laundry of Beaver County. New merch. I'm not gonna watch the merch video. We're gonna talk about the event. But we are releasing new merch, the greatest, most freedom drinking vessels of all time, the Freedom Honey, that sweet taste of freedom tumblers. If you go to the event this weekend, on the 15th, you'll be able to pick those up. All right, and that brings us to a Pedro update of this week. He's doing good. The goats are getting a lot bigger. I know people keep talking about, want to see more photos and videos of the goats. Here's the goats. There's Pedro's farm. There's the goats. They're doing fantastic. I think a couple of them they're willing to give away. So I just got to not tell my wife because I might end up with goats. So hopefully she doesn't listen to this episode. And with that, guys, we're going to talk about the event happening on the 15th. This is Canadians for Truth, Veterans for Freedom event going down at Legacy Place. We're going to talk about the details, but honestly, I'm not the best to say it. So I'll get my buddy Adam Sos from Rebel News. He'll fill you in.
On June 15th, Canadians for Truth, in collaboration with Veterans for Freedom, is coming to Legacy Place in Red Deer, Alberta, to present Veterans for Freedom, From Service to Solutions, featuring insights from Canada's military veterans. This event offers a unique opportunity to connect with recent veterans who provide a behind-the-scenes look at the issues shaping Canada's future. This event will feature 6 dynamic presentations by esteemed Canadian veterans. Hear from a former intelligence officer with 30 years of national security experience and an Air Force squadron leader who has served with the Canadian and British Armed Forces, and others with unique and compelling experience. Their first-hand insights provide a unique perspective on the challenges and opportunities ahead. Tickets to this event are $75, but for a limited time only, you can get 2 tickets for just $99 by using promo code V4F at checkout. Visit CanadiansForTruth.ca/events to secure your seats. This full-day event features speeches, networking, food and refreshments, and a special evening presentation of Fire and Ice with NHL legend Theo Fleury and Canadian business leader Joseph Bourgault. Don't miss your chance to hear from inspiring veteran speakers, connect with like-minded individuals, and discover what you can do to make a difference. And make sure to take advantage of this special limited time offer to get 2 tickets for only $99. Bring your friends and family. To learn more and to get your tickets to this unforgettable event, go to www.canadiansfortruth.ca/events right now. Seize this opportunity and hear directly from our veterans whose sacrifices, experiences, and commitment to service provide invaluable perspectives that enrich our understanding of the challenges facing our country. Get your tickets today.
All right, you heard the man. Get your tickets today. Event is next weekend. Full day event. It should be tons of fun. And if you're going, I want to meet you guys. I'll have my booth set up, and we'll see what kind of trouble we can get into. And with that, guys, thanks again for liking, sharing the show, watching it all the way through, and take care. God bless. All hail the Queen Bee, and we're out.
This is why people OD on pills and jump from the Golden Gate Bridge.